Alright, welcome back. So today I've got my daughter's Maxx back on the bench because we went to run it the other day after I had fixed the on and off switch and it ran perfect. And then at the end of that day she was ripping it up and down the road and it shut off and she had to carry it back, and I thought the battery just died because she had been ripping it for over 45 minutes on one pack. And turns out that we cleaned it up and went to rip it again, and it had the flash of death. So we're going to take a look at that today, see what's going on. I don't have another 4S ESC. I mean, I have an 8S ESC, but I really don't want to put this thing on 8S. So I might just up it to a 6S, but I'm not sure what I'm going to do. I might just put the 8S into the UDR, which is something I've been planning on doing. I do have a couple of 8S Maxx ESCs, and I've been thinking about putting it into the UDR and then taking the UDR ESC out, and I think putting it right in here. And that might work out for this combination rather than going with a Castle. I just don't, I'm not the big Castle basher type guy. I think with Traxxas, this is the first ESC, if it is bad, that I've had go bad. So I'm going to grab a pack. We're going to plug this thing in. I'm going to take a look at this and see if I can do something about this flash of death. So I got a little 3S pack here. Got her remote, Chloe's Maxx. So it goes AV temperature, and then it just flashes the death. And it has steering, but no throttle. And then won't power off, won't do anything. And even holding it down, it just does the flash of death, which is never a good sign, because that's telling me that the ESC has just got no control, which really sucks. Because in order to run the lights on this thing, you have to run Traxxas ESC, which that's what I want to do. So I might just, I mean, I want to put an 8S into the UDR, so I might just go grab that, pull out the ESC and install it into here, or even see if it's going to work. I was going to do an eRevo on 8S. Maybe I'll just grab an eRevo because it's easier to get to the ESC than taking apart a whole UDR. I do have two of these 8S ESCs, so I'm gonna go ahead and pull this out, take some things apart, and see if I can see something. You never know. I've been waiting for this day for one of these things to die. Like I said, I've never had an ESC from Traxxas go bad. But as hard as my daughter crashes this thing, I don't doubt that something went bad in it. Let's see. So I think we got to get this wire up. This has to unplug from here because this goes to the ESC, and I think I just put a new fan in this thing too. I'm gonna lay, yeah, that's the one with the brand new fan. And we gotta get this thing unplugged, all the lights. Let me make sure. Oh, I see what happened. I think I pinched the wires to the controller when I bolted it down. Or this rock got in there. So I think I can fix this ESC. I think I got pinched wires. Yep. I think one of those impacts finally pinched it, so yeah, it's gonna have a broken wire. I'm pretty sure of it. But let me take a look. I think I can get it out of here. I think that wire just sat just right and might have pinched it itself. Then we got to get up this other cover. Let's see, and then this stupid thing goes underneath. Now remember, there's two steerings. I really don't want to take up that box. There we go. So let's unplug this. So, as you see, I've got it pinched right there. So I'm going to peel this back and take a look at it right there. So I'm going to separate these three wires right here, like this. Then we're going to give a tug, strip them back. I'm hoping they didn't short out against each other. I don't see a break in those two wires. So none of those wires have a break in them. Which that's unfortunate. I'm going to take a look at this fuse. These fuses are really hard to read. So I know this fuse is not burnt. On my 8S one. Fan's not plugged in, lights aren't plugged in. No, it's still doing the death. And I know it's giving BEC voltage because everything's powered up and I got steering, which means this is sending out, the ESC sends the voltage to the receiver. So is it a ground issue or a signal issue? Yeah, it just splits the top. Check the capacitors, see if they're blowing out. Yeah, see, these things are all in lamination. That was the micro switch that was jammed up for the power, and then they're encased, so there's not much we can look at. Even the caps are encased, but none of the tops of the caps are blowing out. There's your light. I don't see any of the powers and grounds. I don't think the bottom half of this cover comes off. I think it's poured into, yeah, it's poured into the cover. And that's how Traxxas really waterproofs this stuff. They just leave the heat sink out. So I'm afraid to say that this ESC is done, which sucks because I really like this ESC. And this is a plastic case, so even if it pinched it, it couldn't short in between because it's plastic and the chassis is plastic. So I know the wires didn't touch each other. Even here's got a little kink to it on the wires. But those don't look broken either. Make sure my pins look like they're still in. Yep. Yep. All right, well, I'm gonna go grab another RC, take an ESC out of it, and then we're gonna throw this 8S one into either an E-Revo or the UDR. I really want to do the UDR because I think the UDR could use more power. And these I still have the bolts in because when you take off these receivers, the bolts are very hard to get out, so I just leave them in the covers. Oh, because you can't get the covers down properly once those bolts are in there. So that's still got the hardware in it to bolt it back down. Maxx, you know, I haven't had any problems with these 8S ones either. I just pulled them out for more power, just for a little bit more wheel speed. But let's see what we can do. All right, got this UDR on the bench. I think I got to take the body off of this thing. So I can't really remember how to get, I don't even know if I've ever taken the body off. But we're going to start taking out some screws and see if I can get this body off. Let me see if I can get a straight bit. I know I got one of these. There we go. So these four are easy because I could see them. I really should look some of this stuff up. Oh, I see two back here. So I think you just take off the body. There's two back here. Roof center brace, and I think it'll come out. Oh, there's two on the side down here too. A lot of screws to get this body off the UDR. I think the last time I ran this, I had the ESC in the wrong setting because it had no power. It's either that or I'm used to the Super Baja Ray 2.0 because I kind of ran it with that one. That's held in. Looks like there's some screws in the back over there. Some screws at the top. Man, there's a lot to get to this thing. It's probably why I've never changed this thing. Looks like there's two screws back here. Silly. Got two little bolts in the center of it. Seems to be a lot just to get to the ESC, don't you guys think? That's a stupid place to put a bolt. So all these screws so far have been the same. And then I think I got to take out this little X brace thing up here. That allows me to get out the X brace. I think I can get this thing out of here. And now I can see the ESC. That's funny, it's clipped into this funky brace over here. And see the motor wires. One bolt. Let me unplug this motor. And I wonder what I'm going to have to do with these XT90s. I'm probably going to have to get the holders for it, for this thing. These things kind of look like they slip out, I think. There's 2 bolts in the center of it. To hold the battery wires. Yep, that pops up. Now I know why people change these things out to XT90s. Those slip up. I got my adapters in there. And then I got to open up the receiver cover. That's a whole lot of bolts just to change an ESC. I'm going to have to get a bag, put all this stuff in so I can do the swap over. I think I'm going to order that 3D printed XT90 holder for this thing, for the battery. And then I'll have to solder on. I don't know if I have XT90s. Oh, I dropped that bolt. I'm going to have to find that thing. There's that. Bolt for that. You get those cover bolts in there. All right. And then channel 2. Go. And then unplug the lights. Now I think I did plug the light kit into this, so I must have been in here because I put these lights on this UDR. I remember when I bought them, the light kit was expensive. There we go. Got the ESC out. So I'm going to pop this off the bench for now so that we can get back on the Maxx. And then I'll do an install video on this, a part 2. And see how much room we have. And will this thing bolt right into it? I think it will. I'll smush it again. bolts right in. Blue, black, white, there we go. Leave some slop in it, and then this has got to go an extra one back, because this has got 2 steerings, I believe. Like that. I'm going to test it out before we close it up. Oh, let me grab some of those ends. Be right back. Alright, so the camera didn't record when I ran it, so we're gonna run it again. But I sealed up the box, got the lights plugged in, I tack glued the wire for the fan, zip tied it here, zip tied it there over by the lights, so everything's secure, there's no loose wires in it. I am gonna put a single XT90 on it, but we'll get it powered up. We got steering. I got to get it up off the bench, get the batteries off of it. And this is on 6S. Lights are working. There's your brake lights. There's your reverse lights. It's nice and smooth. That's me barely touching the trigger. So I will make sure that it's not on training mode or anything, because that's what I thought it was on training mode before. But the 6S UDR ESC plugs basically right into everything. It has its own fan, and then this fan, which isn't turning, I gotta check to make sure that it's plugged in. But that fan should be turning, so I'll have to open this back up and make sure I didn't unplug the wire. I might have unplugged the wire by accident, but that should just plug right into that box. So I'll double check that. But there you go. It is now on 6S, and this 6S is the same as the 8S and is same as the 4S as far as size and bolt pattern. No changing of any of the wires. So I am running some old, I bought 8 of these things. These are what I call my puff packs. They're puffed up slightly. They all test good, but they're kind of puffy, so I just don't run them anymore. And I bought these for the UDR and some of the other ones that that have a limited compartment for batteries. But there we go. I'm going to get that changed out, and the next video we're going to go ahead and run or put the UDR back together, because I got to get that 8S put back in there. So stay tuned for that video. But my daughter's Maxx is back together for the second time. Knew that ESC was going to fail. Something was going on with that thing for a while now. But first Traxxas ESC I ever had fail. So there we go, guys. Like, comment, subscribe. We'll catch you guys on the next video. Thanks for watching.